Hello, welcome to Authentic Hustle number 29. Oh my gosh, guys. Technical difficulties like crazy today, so apologies on my front. We had issues with microphones and speakers. As you can see, I'm coming to you from earbuds today as my roadcaster is updating endlessly. And we're coming to you a full hour early, and I take the full blame for that, guys. I double booked myself, so we have this obviously Authentic Hustle at 11 typically, but I also double booked a workshop inside the Catalyst Club for the same time and just completely missed it. So I was literally on my hands and knees this morning begging Colin, begging VJ to hop on a full hour early, which led to a bunch of a mess of like technical difficulties and stuff. So thank you so much, guys. Apologies for everyone who was waiting for us or who's like, what the heck? Why is this at 10 today and not 11? And why is it 10:10 and we're getting started? This is why. It's life, guys. It's life. This
It's
is
real
the
life.
hustle. It doesn't always go to plan. There's sometimes some technical difficulties in our life. So grateful, guys. I'm so sorry, Colin. So sorry,
All
VJ.
good.
All
Yeah,
good.
it's a day. I'm sure you'll have your day, and I will step up for you then as well. How was your week?
My week's been good. It's
Yeah.
on a bunch of different fronts. It's been good. The highlight of the week is I received this today.
Yes.
Wow. It's beautiful,
I know
actually.
that
Yeah,
certificate.
like, and to tell you the truth, it's really nice, and it doesn't just say participation. So
It's not a you showed up award.
I remember my mom saying, "Oh, you got another award." It's not really an award when you just show up. Um, so I had to take part in it. So thanks, Kelly. I received it. It was on my desk this morning when I got here. So amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, I appreciate that, guys. I appreciate you coming in and taking the risk on the course. Business development mastery is something that we're getting better at every single time. I'll be running it for my third time here this coming September. Obviously done the one-to-one program for about a year ahead of that, but the group coaching thing is kind of new and a lot of fun. I think like the neat dynamic with the group, Colin, was simply that we had so many people from like across North America that everybody had a different perspective to bring to each session. So I had a lot of fun. I felt a lot of the course. I got to kind of even take a sit back and listen to the experts in the room like you who had experience in the various things that we were talking about.
Yeah, it was super good, and I've certainly recommended it to others to join up. And I did hear yesterday that somebody did.
Yes,
Um,
somebody
so
did. Yes,
the
we have Thorin coming in, so I'm
yeah,
excited about that. Yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
So
awesome,
yeah,
awesome.
other than that, though, like we're rounding up the summer, which feels really weird because the weather is fantastic
Yeah,
um, down here anyway. But on the other end, inspirationally or motivationally, if motivationally is a word, um, I feel like invigorated for the fall. Like there's a
yeah,
lot of anticipation in the air, and I think part of that is coming through this podcast and just doing all the things we've been doing at the Catalyst Club and everything. It's really made the summer go by really quickly. Like I don't have a newborn baby or anything like that to keep me up at night, but other things keep me up at night, like stress. Um,
yes, yes.
but a different type of stress. So no, on my front, all things blue sky.
Oh my gosh, man. I'm so lucky and fortunate to have an incredible partner in Shelby, man. She has just been stepping up and handling baby stuff. And even right now, she's got baby and Jet up there. So,
Yeah,
huge shout out to the incredible partners, wives, husbands out there who step up and make these things possible because I couldn't do it without her.
yeah. VJ, how about you? What's going on?
Uh, no, it's uh, speaking of stress, and it's been brutal to be honest.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't lie. So
Mm,
the challenges that I mean, it is real. I mean, it is what it is. I've spoken about it, but I find it difficult to always streamline what I'm actually going through because I don't feel it at the moment. Sometimes I feel it later. Yeah, when you're not sleeping, that's when you find out. Okay, fine. This is so. Yeah, it is what it is. This is real.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're going through it, and yeah, we're trying different initiatives, which is fine. But at the same time, uh, yeah, anyone who's in the business front, like it is it'll be challenging. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Well, I feel like now we have to explore that, VJ. I can't let you say it's
Well,
brutal and just move
so
on to the topic. That doesn't
yeah,
work well,
no,
man.
no, no, no.
Um,
I have a thought too. I have no problem spinning, obviously, right? If we spin or whatever we do, but it kind of feels like maybe we should just talk about this.
yeah,
Is we all have different stresses in the workplace and entrepreneurial life. Maybe that's the topic. Like, how do
yeah,
why don't we come up with three things? What are three ways to beat stress in the workplace, or what do we do,
yeah,
right?
There we go.
yeah.
Overcome adversity because that's what we're in every single day,
Yep.
Totally.
right?
Totally. No, yeah, it's I mean entrepreneurship isn't easy. And I think we'd all be lying and sugarcoating it to say that it's all, rainbows and butterflies all the time because
It's
it's
not.
not. There's
No.
plenty of times where it's like, oh shit, where's our money coming from this next month just so I can continue, man. Especially solopreneurs, right? Especially as solopreneurs out there who it all, relies on our back. It's a lot of work to keep this machine
Yeah.
going. And it's funny too because when you look at entrepreneurship as it is today, and maybe how it always has been, but so much of your work in entrepreneurship isn't actually doing the work of your business. It's so much of like building your business or getting brand awareness for your business, right? Like you have to still do business development even when you're doing your business, whatever that is.
Hmm.
And it can be a big juggle and a big balancing act, right? And it's not lost on me as a business developer and someone who runs my own company as well that I spend a lot of my time developing my business and not necessarily doing the tasks that pay me, which kind of ends up being a challenge, but a big reality of modern day business. What are your thoughts on that, VJ? I know you're kind of in a similar boat.
Yeah, I mean, like, I do spend more time on like building it, like and
Yeah,
whatnot. Automation does help reaching out to people and whatnot, like making the calls, and like LinkedIn outreach and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know how to put it actually because stress is real. Because
yeah,
if here's the way to put it, I think I would have aged more in the last couple of years than before. I mean, if
yeah,
that makes any sense.
yeah. It
So
does. Yeah,
right, so that's what it is. And the 2025, as much as I love it, man, like authentic, and so many amazing things and amazing friends and network. But last 2 quarters, I mean, it is challenging actually. So
yeah,
and in the turn of events with Trump coming in, even though I was like championing for him, but there's a lot of like spending cuts for in the U.S. from a lot of like government initiatives from the states, so all federal projects so there's not been enough funding. So those are some challenges when we're reaching out to our network in the states. So yeah, it is real. I don't know. Yeah, there is no other way to put it. So
Okay. So I've got a thing. What would be better for you? Would you rather be stressed working for a corporation? Same elements occur, right? Same
yeah,
things happen. The difference is maybe you have a salary, right? But they may shut down a department tomorrow. They may shut down a division tomorrow. You may not have a job. So if we flip it and look at the entrepreneur side and you will get the results, you will get the reward, right? They're coming. It's just while you're in the grind, while you're in the trenches, I think it's important to remind ourselves that the alternative is doing it for somebody else,
right.
right? It's kind of like the meme or the poster of VJ. If you work just as hard next year, I'll buy another Corvette, right? That type of thing, as opposed to you're doing this for yourself. And I look at myself. My income depends on deals, clients, sales, and that fluctuates daily, right? But what I've learned to tell myself and tell others, because innately the number one question, people don't even ask, hey, Colin, how are you? They're like, how's business? Right? They honestly do. They've gone past who cares how Colin is. They've
Yeah.
gone like, how's business? And it's been a inward practice for me for a long time. Is one of my first mentors, still a mentor and a friend. He always said to me, he owned restaurants, and he said, when people come up to pay, never ask them how was everything, because that's opening up the doors for complaints, right? And he said, if anyone asks how is business, he always says, just say good, because they don't want to hear that you're not doing good. So
Yeah.
so from that, I kind of took is, you know what, no matter what somebody asks me, how's business? Oh, really good, right? We're doing really good, and we have a great business, regardless of, are we hitting our sales targets? Are we where we wanted to be? I don't want that to get out there, right? I don't want my stress to be taken on the shoulders of my clients or my customers, or even the employees. And so that's what I think is important. But a little bit of, I guess, what I'll call is responsibility overload, right? We're the entrepreneur, so we have the responsibility overload. So like even Kelly, a week ago today is when you had the baby. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So a week.
I guess no, 2 weeks.
Oh,
2 weeks.
sorry, 2
We're
weeks.
week 2.
Holy
We're week
crap.
2. Yeah.
Fox is 2 weeks old. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how fast it goes. But if you think about it, that responsibility of everything that's out there, because we all really are a one-man show. We're responsible for ourselves.
Yeah.
Or a one-woman show, right? That's responsibility overload. And I think that's what causes the stress, right? It all falls onto your shoulders. It all falls onto your wallet. It all falls onto that next sale. So I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Like, I think the term that people overlook is responsibility overload.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I also just want to I want to just say thank you, BJ, right? Like once again, sharing that things are hard, especially publicly, especially on this podcast. Like we had no idea, like just to our listeners, he didn't mention any of this ahead of the show. So this was, I think, maybe a surprise to me and Colin as well.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to thank you, VJ, for trusting us, being able to be vulnerable, being able to share that. There's a lot of entrepreneurs who would just say, I'm good, life's good,
Yeah.
put a big smile on their face and wear it and continue through this episode. To be able to come out and say, you know what, like, it's not super great right now. It's not easy as I'm struggling. That's not an easy thing, dude. So thank you so much for being brave enough to share that with not just us, but our audience. And I get it. I get you. I feel you. I have those days. I have those weeks. I have those months. The same as the rest of us. And I think especially when you're high ambition, like I know VJ, you shoot for the moon. You shoot for the moon on everything you do, and I do too. But what that also means is when we miss the moon or when we don't quite make it, it can be really, really hard. And I can definitely find myself in those positions where I'm sitting there, I'm just feeling like, oh, am I even going to make it this month? Are we going to get out the other side? What I can say is something will happen. It always does. Something will happen and that mood will flip and you will be optimistic again. And I think they literally call it the entrepreneurial roller coaster for a reason, because it's a hell of a ride and it's a hell of a roller coaster. And there are hard, long, fast downs followed by rocket ship ups, right? You just have to get through this down. And next week could be a completely different week. You could make 4 sales and be on cloud 9, right? That's just the nature of entrepreneurship.
And
Sorry, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
No, I was saying there were years where we made amazing, and I don't want to talk about the numbers on the show because it's an online format, but we did really good. But last 6 months and it's been brutal. But I wouldn't lie. The other thing is I didn't pay much attention to the numbers and whatnot, but at the same time, we have built some of the amazing stuff that we could in the last 10 months. A couple of years ago, someone walked at our website. Hey, what are you? Oh, do you have a website? I mean, I've seen people literally mocking it, and I'm coming out of that, and what we have now, the deliver value, the branding, and everything. I think we have completely overdone it, and I've at least 5 people ask me hey, you have an amazing website and
You
things like
do.
that,
Yeah.
and and people have responded positively to recruit. But although I'm understanding the landscape of fundraising and whatnot, yeah, I'm not going to be less ambitious or anything like that. Keep putting in the work, keep building it, keep reaching out to people. So I think I have more hope in humanity. I'm sure it'll respond, and one way or the other, it is what it is. Corporate to your comment, Colin, in terms of the corporate thing or not. No, I don't think that is the answer, because like here, at least you control your destiny.
Right.
So what else can be done? What else can be done? My mind is constantly thinking.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, it is real. It is brutal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely hopeful, and I'm sure that things will turn out better. But I'm going to do everything in my capacity to make it better. So yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? Oh, I watched a video this morning at the gym, and it was Jeff Bezos in the early days, like early days, in his garage with some books. And his number one first investor, Dave, who is still with him, he was talking about it, and he says, Dave, I'm going to start an online bookstore selling books out of my garage. Which would you like to invest in my company? And and Dave says, "Yeah, I believe in you. I would, but what are you gonna do?" he says, he
Yeah.
says, "I'm gonna sell books online out of my garage." Okay,
Yeah.
so then he said he went to his boss and said, "Hey, I've got this idea, and I'm gonna sell books out of my garage on the internet." And his boss looked at him and he said, like he lit up, and he looked at him. He said, "That's a great idea if you didn't have a job." Right? So, so I was sitting there, and I was on the treadmill, and I'm like, "Holy crap!" Like that is a very common response, right? Like
Yeah.
somebody might encourage you and say, "Oh, that's great. You're going to raise butterflies, right? That's fantastic. They fly away and never come back." That's kind of like the dream, but he's casting the dream, and he said it. And then he said to his friend Dave, he said, "One day this is going to be $100 billion company." And he said that when 100 billion wasn't even a real thing. He said
Wow.
there wasn't companies doing 100 billion, right? So just a word of encouragement. Certainly, I'm not Jeff Bezos, right? But that stuff fires me up, right?
Yeah.
And that just brings you to the next step as well. Is what I love, VJ, is you try, you launch a new thing, right? And you know what? And if you have to, you kill one, right? You'll put
Yeah.
it down and say, okay, that's not working. The hard part is that responsibility, the fundamentals, the dollars come out of your pocket. But if you're not willing to do that, that's great if but you already have a job, right? Like if we take it back to that, we always have to look past that. We're so far past that, and you're leaps and bounds ahead. Like you're in the AI community and you're crushing
Mm-hmm.
it. It's just a matter of, like Kelly said, we continue to throw the proverbial dart and something will stick, right? What people don't see is what it takes to actually form that dart, right? It's what's in the dart. So, I just want to encourage you to keep going, and what you're going through is just a growing pain, right?
Yeah.
You're growing new legs, right? And they hurt.
Yes.
It,
And
it really hurts. Yeah.
and
Sorry, go ahead.
I really love that story, Colin, and specifically the
Yeah,
part where when Dave goes, "What are you building again? I'm in. What are you
yeah,
building again?" Because what
yeah.
that said was Dave didn't give a shit about what Bezos was
That's right.
doing.
He
He
believed him.
believed in Bezos,
Yeah, yeah,
and
not
we believe in you, VJ.
yeah,
And it doesn't
yeah,
matter what you do, you're going to find that success because eventually, like Colin said, that dart is going to stick and you are
yeah,
going to the moon.
yeah.
No, thank you, people. I mean, like you are the best co-host I could ever imagine, and I think I thank God. Like I'm thankful in terms of many things in life, from where I've started and what I've become. I'm absolutely thankful. Something I don't know if I want to inspire people in terms of like if you're going through life, it is going to be hard if you're venturing out business entrepreneurially. It is going to be hard.
Hmm.
But I think the kind of connections that we have made, it's all nothing was easy in the last 4 years. I mean, whatever you have built, it's amazing. One thing I wanted to share, guys, is like uh, there was time. I think it was back in Ontario. We were there. I mean, I think At the time, I know I had like credit lines and whatnot. So, but my bank account at the time had like $20, right? So, true story. I had $20, and me and my son went to a store, right? And we went to buy. I think we are rice eaters. We eat a lot of rice, and my the task was to go get some rice,
Yeah.
right? So when we went to the store, my son said, and apparently the kind of rice that we were asking for was not available. And my son asked for a sweet, a kind of a candy, but I used the $20 to buy that candy for my son. All right. And no kidding. So, and I came back home. My wife was asking, "Where's the rice?" And I said, "I didn't buy it, but I bought the candy." And she was so furious. I'm not, I'm not going to lie. But I wanted to see, because
Yeah.
my son was much younger, and like I want to see that, put the smile on his face. So,
Yeah.
we did that, and we did get through it. And after that, this was in 2018, 2019 kind of thing. And that's when I was reaching out for more consulting work and whatnot. And you know what? I got a call from a person from Calgary or Edmonton. I could be wrong. But then that's how I came to Edmonton, in terms of I got an opportunity. It was an amazing opportunity. And I knew nothing about Edmonton at all at the time. And then I was there. I took the contract, and like, it was a beautiful thing. And then I started traveling, and apparently COVID hit. That because this happened in November, December 2019, and COVID hit, and I had to fly back like every 2 weeks. I'll be here in Edmonton downtown working, and then 2 weeks back I'm going back to Ontario. So my family was there back then. So it was back and forth, back and forth. But I wouldn't have known so many people in Edmonton, in Alberta, otherwise. So I think that's what life tells you.
Mhm.
Life teaches you that in a way or not. So yeah, and then we made it other side of the tunnel. So
Yeah.
that was a different time. But I'm sure. So this time it's different. So I think we have a beautiful family, we have a beautiful house, and I can all the things I can ask for. I think I kind of have it. I have. So those are things I'm really thankful for. But at the same time, it's a different part of my life,
Yeah.
where I'm learning to acknowledge where I am, and keep going. So that the lesson I learned from you, Colin and Kelly, is like, keep going. How can I keep going, but at the same time with the blue sky and the positivity every
Think
single day amidst challenges. So that's what
yes.
I'm learning. Yeah.
And entrepreneurship is full of challenges and lessons, right? And you only fail if you don't learn from each lesson. And
Right.
I'll tell you, I'll share you, a recent failure that I had, right? Obviously, Colin's showing us that beautiful plaque this morning for completing business development mastery. My first coaching group went so well. We sold it out in 2 weeks. It was absolutely incredible. 2 weeks, sold out 10 seats. It went off without a hitch. And I remember talking to Colin, and we're going back and forth. I'm like, Colin, I think I'm going to run another one like in a month. And we were heading into summer. And Colin's like, oh, yeah, like maybe that seems like a decent idea. I'm not thinking, like in my brain, I'm thinking, this sold out so fast. It's going to go really well. Nope. Nope, not at all. We ended up getting 2 signups for our summer group coaching session after a full month and a half, basically, of marketing it. What's the lesson? The lesson is people don't want to take schooling, no matter how good it is, in the summer. And I had to learn that the hard way. I will never run a course again in the summer, and I will never run a course in December for the very same reason. But that's a lesson that I've now learned, which will make every future coaching cohort that I put together more successful, VJ. And yes, I lost in the moment, but I won long term because I now have a piece of advice and a piece of knowledge that maybe other coaches or other programs don't necessarily have. And so you have to look at it as you may be struggling right now in this moment, right? And I'm speaking to my entrepreneurs everywhere. You might be struggling in the moment with whatever you're doing, whatever choice you made. But entrepreneurship is strictly learning from a whole bunch of failures to put something together that actually
Yeah.
works for you long term. So get it. Like you might be in this moment right now, VJ, and maybe there's a lesson to be learned here, but it's going to make every future thing you do more successful. And I don't know about you, man. I've had to learn everything the hard way. I look back at my life, everything I feel like I've learned the hard way.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I've
It's been the same.
learned, and
Yeah.
it's taken me to where I am today, and it'll take you there too. And I'm sure for Colin, it's the same thing. Like we're all,
It is.
it's a longevity
Yeah.
game, man. Entrepreneurship is just don't die, don't
Yeah.
die, don't quit. When you quit is when you lose. you
It,
have to keep going.
Yeah.
you know what I'm finding too is just in my real estate business is every transaction that we do, I really try to reflect on it and look at what went well, what went wrong, what could have gone better. And on the next one, it's okay. I know better. I already know better, right? And I think part of that is I need to be more attentive to everything I do. Everything that I'm going to apply myself to, I have to be very attentive to it. And then I don't skip a beat because that feeling of victory is so much better than, oh shit, what did I do there?
Yeah.
Or what didn't I do? And even in hypervac, much larger scale, we gear up for certain things and we've got all these ideas and it seems like the idea was only good in our heads. Like the market doesn't react to it at all. And we've got one of those right now. And we're shifting on the fly and learning, okay, like it's just part of, if we don't try, we're never going to even do the next step.
Yeah.
Right. I don't like when people go, oh, you got to be willing to hit rock bottom. You don't need to hit rock bottom, right? You might step down a rung on the ladder, but not rock bottom. You don't have to start over. It's just a matter of how do we continue moving forward and moving forward faster, right? Because how long do we stay down is going to be what is the detriment to our business or to our, our life. So like we've had a lot of really good victories in the recent months, but we've also had, some stagnant time, like some stale time where it's like, holy, like, actually, I remember the phone rang, and this is a true story. It just happened. The phone rang, and I answered it, and it was Robin in our admin at the front. And I said, oh, hey, Robin. She goes, I was just phoning ourselves to see if our phones worked. And I was like, oh, that hurts. Like, that hurts, right? Like, and she goes, well, I wasn't sure. And like nobody had phoned for like 4 hours, right? And I mean, we have a vast market. And the fact that our phone didn't ring, it gets a little scary where you're like, holy, what's going on here? And we got a lot of square footage and a lot of mouths to feed. And then, then the next day it changes. And, I'll give you an example. I dealing with just a large customer, a new one, and we went through this thing and he's like, yeah, we're good to go. And then I was somewhere and I looked at my watch, an email popped up and it said, hey, Colin, change of plans. And my heart sunk. Like, I was just like, no, like this was such a good victory. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of like, lioness, like got my blanket and walked back to my office, to my computer to look at my email. And it said, we don't want one truck, we want two.
That's the right kind of change.
I was like, yes, yes, right. But my mind right away went to the negative. I read one half a sentence and I immediately thought the sky was falling. And I'm the blue sky guy, right? Yeah. But I don't tell anyone that story. I just tell you how we sold 2 trucks.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But it was real, right? And those, but I'm not saying that always happens, because lots of times it does say change of plans, right? So like VJ, you were talking about people's business changed because of what's going on politically or, that type of thing. Yeah, that is real. And that's hit my business as well. And it's topsy-turvy, right? It's like a teeter-totter. Burr, 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 burr. But we've got past that. But now we're like, okay. Like, no joke, when somebody in your own office phones the phone and you answer it and she's seeing like, do the phones work? That doesn't give you a great feeling.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and I think it's like important too to look at it from the standpoint of these are all very different industries. It's just a reality of the economic world we live in today, right? And I think too, like for people to listen, entrepreneurship as well isn't linear. Like, you look at what you've been doing, VJ, you've been in nothing but building phase. You've been just building, AI tool after AI tool. It's a path, right? Like, you have to have a certain amount of product and asset before things ever catch fire. Like, you look at the BDP, I think we're only just getting started on the BDP. 265 episodes this morning. I think we're only just starting to play ball. Yeah. That's how long. That was the 2.5, 2 3/4 year runway to even get in the game. right?
Right.
Business
Right.
is the same thing. It won't be linear. It'll be a lot of work and then a straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But you got to stick in it for the work
Yeah.
before you hit the straight up.
Yeah. I mean, all the IP that we have built and wouldn't have been there otherwise. Like, I mean, like for of course Pathfinders, we have the 25 episodes and we're counting and we're doing. Now, I'm doing it at my own pace. I don't want to rush
Yeah.
it. I don't want.
Yeah.
So that's there, and with the recruit and of course the initiative with yeah, I don't even want to mention the name, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about. So we have learned a lot. So recruit is amazing, and with Zadwell, yeah, the kind of IP that we have built in such a short time, it wouldn't have been possible. I never thought I could build so much in
That's great.
such a short amount of period. It's the building phase. So yeah, that's what it is. I'm definitely super excited and hopeful for the future,
Yeah.
guys. So it's not a letdown. It's not anything like that
No.
because a decade ago I was totally in a different spot. I didn't even
Yes.
understand what's going on, right? And so now I'm in a totally different spot again. So
Well,
that's
here's the
all
thing.
right.
A decade ago, I could have never seen where I'm at today, what I've accomplished
There's
in
no way,
Right,
such a
right?
short period
right,
of time, right?
right.
You can't see it. No one can see it. I mean, that's like the premise that I live by. You can't see the future. I don't care how much you plan. I don't care how many 5-year plans, 10-year plans, 3-year plans, 1-year plans you have. You never see the opportunities coming your way. The secret to being successful is simply being able to say yes when they do come your way, right? The BDP
That's right.
wasn't on the plans. Authentic Hustle wasn't on the plans.
No.
Business Development Mastery Accelerator, not on the plans. But they've been absolutely incredible because we just said yes to them, right?
Yeah,
That is
Yeah.
the secret to long-term success. Sure, make your plans, but understand that it's probably not going to go the way that you plan it out or the way you think because we can't see the opportunities coming. We can't see the people we're going to
That's
meet.
right.
We can't see the people who are going to come into our lives and change everything, right? There's 2 people in this call with me who came into
Yeah.
my life and changed everything.
can I
I
say
love that.
something? Like
Yeah.
it sounds really selfish, but can I say it?
Yeah.
Uh, I know it's at the phase of it. Anyone seeing it, it's actually uh, really hard. But I kind of like under the belly. I kind of love it actually.
Right.
I don't know how
Yeah.
to put
No,
it.
no. True.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Right. Well, here's the thing. It if we didn't go through these things, there's no victory on the other side of it. And
Yeah.
and,
Right.
and it's that victory that you go, okay, kind of like what I was, moving towards saying, it doesn't always go right, or what do we do on the next transaction or the deal with the customer or a client, that type of thing is the biggest thing is I'll call it your peer group, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I would say like the peer group here, but I'll use the Catalyst Club, right? Little plug for the Catalyst Club is you don't have to do this alone,
Yep.
right? We're here for you. And that's not a corny thing because you guys have said, and you've had people on your podcast, Brad Warren, it's lonely at the top. Entrepreneurship is lonely. My dad's a pastor. He always said being a pastor is very lonely because he's always giving out, right? He's
Mm-hmm.
counseling or he's always giving out. He's always giving out. People are always saying, oh, it's so great. Thanks so much for the help. There's nobody almost feeding him,
Yeah.
if you
Right.
will, right? So
Right.
entrepreneurship is very much the same. It's like VJ, a great point. You said you gave your kid candy, and your wife's like, "Well, where's the food for me?" Um,
Well, I brought
you
you candy too.
you were, but you were planting seed for a later harvest,
That's
if
right.
you will,
Yeah.
right? So the big part is just to remember, um, no one's alone, right? You don't have to be alone, right?
Yeah.
That's what the peer groups are for. That's what the Catalyst Club is for. That's what this podcast is for. It's real. It's authentic. It hits home. My victory today won't be my victory next week this time,
Yeah.
right? It'll be different. Like life changes. Life business is a living, breathing document,
Yes.
right? It's ever changing, right? It's always changing, and that's the beautiful part of it is I think once we get past, like I screw up, I do things wrong. Not every Google review would be a great one, right? I just don't send the review thing to them, right? Here,
Yeah.
review me. I know
Yeah.
this went horribly wrong. I don't do that. Um, but what it does do is just makes you better for the next one. In
Mm-hmm.
realizing that don't
Right.
let that hold you down, no matter what it is, right? Like regardless, just don't let it hold you down, right? Like get your head back above water because the reality is whether your head's underwater an inch or a foot, you're still drowning,
Yeah.
right? So the
That's right.
goal is get your head above water, right? Or to not be cliche, but keep swimming, right?
Yeah.
That's all
And
it is.
I think the other point to this too is the power of one phone call that I just maybe want to throw out there before we wrap up today is that when you're feeling that way, when you're feeling down and you just need that help, like Colin, you're my guy, man.
Yeah.
Like I call Colin, like, and Colin calls me, right?
I did
Like
too.
I do. Yeah.
you guys just gotta have
Yeah.
that phone call, and I
True.
will always be there for that
Yeah.
phone call, VJ. Like if you just need to get it off your chest, get it out, have a cry, whatever you need, just call. We're always going to listen. We're always going to hear you out, and we get it. And that's the power of having people who get it. Yeah, and I think that's the other thing for entrepreneurs. Find other like-minded entrepreneurs who get it, because when you call them and say, I'm struggling, they're going to be like, they're going to drop everything because they get it. They've been there.
And you know what the entrepreneur life too is living unashamed, right?
Hmm.
When we live unashamed, I'm not ashamed to call you. I think that's what holds people back more than anything is like, oh, geez, I really should call VJ or Kelly, but I'm a little embarrassed. This didn't go quite right, but I need to talk to somebody, right? Living unashamed is real authentic. That's
Yeah.
authenticity, right?
Yeah.
So that's all I got.
All right, that's it. Man, not
But
the once
no, I
again,
have to.
the show we needed, not the show we thought we were gonna have.
I wouldn't lie. I want to give credit to absolutely Colin, and like I did call Colin. Like Colin, remember I calling you like I need that blue
Yeah,
sky moment, Colin, and
you
I
did.
spoke to him. He sent me a couple of videos, and like they're amazing videos. I've
Yeah,
saved
Yeah.
them, and it tells you like when you wake up, it's going to be a great day.
yeah,
And it's an amazing video. Maybe we
Right.
should play it sometime. I don't
We
have it
should, yeah.
handy to show it. And at the end of the day, thank for the day. Say it was
yeah.
a great day. Thank for the day. So count your blessings. So thank you, Colin. Thank
Yeah.
you, Kelly, for
Oh, you're
being there.
welcome.
So I absolutely I have a huge amount of respect for you guys. So thank you so much. Yeah.
All right.
You're very
Well,
welcome.
and Kelly, we've got to get on the other one here right
Yes,
away.
on to the next. Yeah. Thank you everyone for sticking with us. I hope that you enjoyed this show. VJ, thank you for being authentic, for bringing the authentic to the
Absolutely.
hustle this week. And until next time, we'll catch you later, hustlers.
Later.
See you later. Bye bye.